The old Ford coughed, sputtered, and died. Silence, heavy and absolute, swallowed the engine's last gasp. Rain hammered against the windshield, blurring the already desolate stretch of highway. Sarah gripped the steering wheel, knuckles bone-white, heart a trapped bird in her chest. She tried the ignition, nothing, just the mocking click of a dead battery. Outside, the wind howled, like a banshee whipping through the trees lining the roadside. Their skeletal branches swayed menacingly, clawing at the fog that rolled in thick and fast. Fear, cold and clammy, tightened its grip on Sarah's throat. She fumbled for her phone, its screen a beacon of false hope in the suffocating darkness. No signal, of course not. Panic swelled, threatening to consume her. She was stranded, alone, on a road that felt like the edge of the world. A flicker of movement outside. Sarah's blood ran cold. She strained to see through the rain-streaked window. At the edge of the tree line, a figure emerged from the swirling fog. Tall and gaunt, it seemed to glide towards her, feet never quite touching the ground. He wore a long, dark coat that billowed around him like a shroud. And then Sarah saw it, his face. A grotesque parody of a smile stretched across his pale features, impossibly wide, revealing rows of teeth that glinted unnaturally sharp in the gloom. He moved with an unsettling grace, closing the distance between them with unnatural speed. Terror, raw and primal, seized Sarah. She fumbled with the car locks, her fingers clumsy and slow. Click, click. Relief flooded her as she heard the reassuring thunk of the doors locking. She was safe, for now. The figure stopped just beyond the reach of the headlights, shrouded in a halo of fog and darkness. His grin never faltered, a horrifying, unwavering spectacle that sent shivers down Sarah's spine. She could feel his eyes on her, burning into her, even through the rain and the fog. He tilted his head, a slow, deliberate movement that seemed to defy the laws of physics. It was then that Sarah noticed the smell, a sickly, sweet, cloying odor that filled the car, suffocating her, making her gag. He took a step closer and the car lights flickered. Another step and they dimmed further. The smell intensified, a putrid sweetness that seemed to seep into her pores, her lungs, her very being. Sarah wanted to scream, to run, to do anything but sit there, trapped like a fly in a spider's web, but terror had rooted her to the spot. He raised his hand, a long skeletal finger pointing directly at her. The lights went out, plunging the car into absolute darkness. Sarah screamed, a high-pitched, desperate sound that was swallowed by the storm raging outside. She felt a presence beside her, cold and menacing. The smell was overwhelming now, suffocating, and she could hear a low, guttural breathing close to her ear. Then a whisper, barely audible above the storm, but clear as a bell in the crushing silence of the car. "Don't worry," the voice rasped, each word a chilling caress against her skin. "We have all night." A hand slammed against the passenger window from the inside. The grinning face, mere inches from hers, stared at her with an unholy joy. Sarah screamed again, a sound choked off as the man's grin widened further, if that were even possible. The last thing she saw before she fainted was the glint of those impossibly sharp teeth and the knowledge that there would be no escape from this nightmare.